Hello, welcome to Starlight Talks. Go to do all the usual things. Go to autism.com and check out my blog where I write about living on the spectrum. We've got a bunch of upcoming stuff that you guys should check out. We have a workshop coming up that I'm hosting with my sister about what the autism spectrum is. So breaking down the basics of everything. So sign up for the Spectrum Experience, and then we have a bunch of support groups for adults, for women, and then there's the parent coffee. And we are about to launch a bunch of online support groups. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll be hosting a women's support group. So contact me and let me know like when you would like to do that, like what day of the week and what time works for you guys. If you would like to join the women's support group or a different kind of support group, let me know. Yeah, so go register for all the things. We have our socials as usual. Hi Haley, thank you for joining me. Yeah, and if you have any questions, I love to answer and interact with you guys. So it can be related to whatever I'm talking about, or if you have just anything related to autism in general. I love talking to you guys and knowing what's going on and what's topical in the world of autism. So yeah, so I'm going to be hosting an online support group along with the in-person support group, women's support group. So if you guys are interested in that, please let me know what time works best, what day of the week works best for you guys. So if you're out of the area and still want to be part of my support group, that'll be, I think it's going to be 8-week sessions, and you sign up for each of a series of them, instead of each week. So you get to know a particular group of people. So that's how that's good. So yeah, so reach out to me or in some way, let me know if you're interested in that. Yeah, happy late Valentine's Day. How was Valentine's Day for you guys? I had I made a film. So yeah, that I went to like CVS to pick up pills, and they had all the Valentine's stuff, and I like bought bubbles really cheap and was like blowing bubbles for my dogs. They were like heart containers like that. Yeah. That's what I did on Valentine's Day. It was fun. But I remember in school we used to make those, have those like boxes you put Valentine's in, and then as you got older, it wasn't like mandatory to give the entire class Valentine's, so you just like gave it to your friends, and then that sort of just died out, and like Valentine's kind of just stopped and became like if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, then you shared Valentine's. And I don't know, I miss the like friendship Valentine's that used to be a thing. That was cool too, sharing your love about other types of stuff. So like, I think that's just as important. We should cherish that love more than we do. Heather's Colors says, my son wandered away for an hour at a water park on Valentine's Day. I don't think I ever wandered from my parents. It was more like I felt my parents wandered away from me, where like I would be like somewhere and like disassociate, not focus, or like be in my head trying to like block out the world, and like all of a sudden I'd come back and they were not next to me. And I hadn't moved. Like they didn't like always 100% pay attention that I wasn't right next to them, because I always was. So oh, Haley said she got a guitar stand. Do you play guitar? That's really cool. My dad's a musician and I appreciate musicians, but that is something I always had difficulty with. It's like a foreign language. I tried to learn piano when I was little, and I had this teacher that let me experiment. And then I had like a more stickler for the rules teacher. I didn't like that as much. Heather says we're all so different, right? Yeah. Like my little sister, we've lost all the time, especially when she was little. But she's to her, she's never been lost in a day in her life. She always knew where she was. Yeah, she would go running off, see something shiny. I don't know what she was doing, but she would always disappear. But yeah, that wasn't my thing. Oh, Haley says she can play guitar and ukulele. Yeah, that's cool. The uke is really cool too. Yeah, jealous. That seems like a cool talent. But like, I know those who like start playing, you have to get your fingers used to that. Like your fingers start hurting and like picking the guitar strings. So just like that alone, getting over that hurdle, like that's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was little, she came with me and my twin sister to like get our photo taken for like our soccer team. And there were like every kid and their parents that was in soccer were on this field. And she went running up. Like we turned around and she was gone. And my parents were like, "Oh my God, we're never gonna find her." But she turned up. We lost her on the Empire State Building in New York. Like all these crazy places, and like, but she always turned up. Yeah, it's such a different thing. I just can't imagine doing that. Like, what's it's so exciting that she has to go after that and isn't thinking. Haley said she just started karate as well as fishing, sailing, cross country. That is so many things, and I definitely was not doing that many things when I was your age. So like, be proud of that. I did not have the capacity to do all those things. I was more of like in my room, writing, reading, still stuff I like to do, painting. I was not out in the world enough. Now I like to be out in the world, but I didn't have the capacity at the time. Heather says also we made our dogs Valentine's Day dog cookies. Oh my God, Valentine's for dogs, such a good idea. I took my I had to go grocery shopping and I had to go pick up food for my dog, and I think I spent double as much on my dog because everywhere we went I was like, oh, he needs that, oh, he needs that. And he would start sniffing something. I'm like, okay, I'll get that for you. And then I went grocery shopping and I was like, oh, I don't need that. And he came home with like a bunch of treats and new toys, and every time I go to the pet store he needs all these new things. Hi Richard, hi Darcy, thank you for joining. Hi Grandma. Haley says, OMG Chloe, I like the drawing you drew. Oh, on my Instagram. Oh, I think it's right here. I drew, me and my friends were just drawing the other day while we were talking. It was like a kind of spooky inspired drawing I did in colored pencil. Thank you. Yeah, I've been getting back into some traditional art. Yeah, I think I can do better than that, but it was just like fun to just get creative. Yeah, I like being productive. I don't know, it helps with my mental health to like just create and just doing what makes you feel good, you know, that's important. So I was gonna do a life update this episode because I was supposed to have a guest, but I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully, we can get in contact for another episode. So one of the things I'll repeat again is I'm going to be hosting an online support group for women. I'm also going to be doing an online support group for just adults in general. So if you are interested in either of those support groups, please let us know. And what day of the week and what time you guys would work best for you, and we'll start scheduling 8-week sessions that you can sign up for different blocks with either me or with Raul. Where's Groot's in my backpack? Yeah, I've been having my fatigue, so I've been sleeping a lot today, so he hasn't been on my shoulder today. But he makes me happy, and like little things like that just make me happy. I just like don't worry about like what other people think, and just like he's there. But I've had some fun reactions of people noticing. I went to the bank and he was on my shoulder, and the teller, she told me that they have Groot pancakes at the hometown fair. They're not based on Groot, but they're called Groot pancakes, and they're like these little pancakes. She's like, they're so good. You should go and get some for your little Groot because they're little. I thought that was funny. Hi Myra, thanks for joining. Heather says she's interested in online support. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been liking hosting the support group I've been doing. It's been really cool to see in the couple of sessions I've had who shows up and what people need to talk about, and all the great validation and support people have for each other. It's really cool. Richard asked the cost. Yeah, so just if you want to email
8 sessions, $10 a piece, so $80 for 8 sessions.
So it's like $80, so it'd be like $10 for each session if you wanted to break it down, but like you have to do the 8 weeks. I mean, you don't have to do them, but you're paying for 8 weeks.
I'm writing it down.
What age ranges? Well, when we do in person, we do 18 and up. So I think if we get more numbers, we can probably break it down into like different sections, like tiers. I don't know, into smaller groups. But it'll probably just be 18 up. So like anyone 18 and up would be in the group. Haley says she lives 6 hours away by plane. Oh, Haley. But you can do the mentorship or life map, those kind of things remotely if you're interested in that. All those kind of most things we have are available remotely. So you can, I don't know if you're interested in that. Hi, Dad. My dad's on. Yeah, I saw Darcy saying hi. Yeah, what else? We have the workshop coming up that I'm hosting about what autism is. I know I've done a couple live streams just about like different, not knowing another word, trait, a symptom of autism. We've done different episodes like on stimming, slow processing. So we'll like break that all down in one entire workshop, like all the different things. I think it's 5 hours. So we'll break that down, and then what the needs are, and then what happens when you don't meet those needs, and how you come back from that. So like that's the workshop. I think it'll be really great. As for me, when I first was diagnosed, like I didn't understand anything about like what autism was, and I was like just waiting for like my psychiatrists and all these other people to tell me what it was, and I tried to do research, and all the scientific wording was like very difficult to understand. But now since I spent years in this field, I now know all the different traits and how to explain it in a way that is very easy to understand. So I'm now able to do a workshop and just share, this is what the daily life of someone with autism is like, and things that they might be experiencing. I'm excited to share that if you guys want to come. And it's geared toward people on the spectrum, not that other people can't come, but I thought that was important because most things about autism are for parents or for loved ones or for people that don't have autism. And so this is geared directly towards those with autism. So we want to validate who has it and that they want to know about themselves. Heather says, my son needs help to understand. He's 10. Yeah, I would say if you are in the area for the live one, if he can sit through the workshop, he's welcome to come. Mm-hmm. If it's something he can sit through and pay attention to, then he's welcome to. If not, we're hoping to eventually create a webinar that might be a couple sessions long instead of having a 5-hour one. So maybe he would like that better. And then if it's, I don't know if like that those can be saved. So if he can't watch it live, he could come back.
Would be able to.
I mean,
if we do a webinar, you would be able to save it and view it later.
Yeah. So if he can't sit through the whole thing, he can come back, or you could bring him notes. I don't, however you want to do it. But yeah. Yeah, he sees signs and advertisements saying it's a disease, and we don't think that way in our house. Yeah, it's definitely not a disease. I don't like that because then it feels like it needs a cure, and that's not what it is. The way I explain it, it's a different way of processing the world, different way of taking in information. That sort of thing. Is just like brain is wired differently. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just different. There's pros and cons to it. It's just the world around us is set up for a neurotypical person, which is why things can be so difficult. Autism itself isn't inherently making the world more difficult. So if we were to set up a world that took care of those with autism, would the neurotypical suffer more? I don't know. I believe that it would benefit everyone, but I don't know. We have to test that. But most of the things that I realize that I've taught or learned about autism and how to help someone with autism in different ways has actually helped not only other neurodiverse people, but also neurotypical people. It can be applied in a lot of different ways, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, you'll play this for him tomorrow? Well, hello, if you're watching. I hope to see you at either the online workshop or the in-person workshop. It'd be cool.
You could do online mentoring with it.
I can also do the mentorship. I do mentorships with those on the spectrum as well, and just try to help with that, or just be a listening ear, someone who understands. So if he wants to do it that way, so he can just ask like what he wants to ask, it could be like a one-on-one thing. You can check that out. I think that's all on the website. Okay. There'll be a link directly posted to that in the comments in a few minutes. So if you wanted to check that out as well, that's a possibility. Yeah, I've had a few sessions with mentoring, and it's really interesting meeting people and like what they get excited. Just to have someone listening who understands. I think that would have really helped me when I was younger, which is why I wanted to do something like this, is just having someone older, or not necessarily older, but someone more progressed into a healthier state that had autism, so they could tell me like what that was like going through that, and that what I was doing was the right thing, and that I wasn't alone, all those kind of things. Just having someone to talk to be like, hey, I'm going through this right now. Have you been through this? You know, I think someone that's been there, so you don't feel like you're just creating a new path. Hi, Mariah. Thank you for joining. So yeah. Yeah, I love this interaction. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this lot, but I like talking like this. This is nice. What else can we talk about? We have any other events coming? What's Raul's workshop?
We don't have it on there yet.
It's not on there?
That'll be in April.
In April, that's the dating one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in April.
Loving yourself.
Loving yourself. It will be a workshop coming up for that. So that'll be cool.
We have bowling this weekend.
Bowling's this weekend. Come to the socials. Yeah. Bowling's been a hit the last 2 times we did. That has been really cool to see the people that showed up to that. It's been a different group every time, but everyone has a lot of fun just bowling with each other and talking and socializing. So that's also fun too. We don't get as like deep and emotional in those activities, but it's been cool to see just people light up and have a great time. This my mom's dog. Can you hear him squeaking in the background? He wants attention. Yeah, I'm at my parents' place again because I've been having fatigue, so I came back yesterday. Yeah, thank you guys for listening to these live streams. It's always so cool. I always get so impressed that you guys care about what I have to say. And that my advice is helping. That's really cool to always hear the stories of how something I write or something I talk about in these live streams have helped people or help just connect and build language between those on the spectrum and their parents or their caretaker, or with teachers. And that the parents like to take my article and send them to teachers and be like, this is what my kid's doing. And that's pretty cool that I'm able to do that. Or like just give language for that. So that's really cool. I never thought that would be the case. I definitely was one of those kids who like never knew what was going on in school. My teachers never knew what was going on with me. So I would have liked to share these things with when I was that age with different people. It's cool. It's like one of the reasons I got into this is to make a difference so that people don't have to go through the stuff that I did in order to get to where I am. So it's just easier to get through everything. Yeah. Oh, Josh is watching. Hi, Josh. Yeah, we got a couple yellow people. Josh is my fellow friend. He lives in the Philippines and he wears yellow every day as well. So it's been cool to find that community as well. Those of us that wear one color. And it's crazy to hear the stories of how that came about and how similar they are. It's like you wouldn't, I don't know, I just didn't think it would be like the same reason, but it's normally just makes us happy, helps fight depression, helps fight, helps us remember loved ones. There's so many cool stories, but it's mostly like just something positive to focus on each day. And it's nice to make it that simple, to be like, yellow makes me happy, so I'm gonna find all the yellow things in my life, and that just makes me happier when I notice them. And I think like a lot of those on the spectrum are drawn to things that are a little outside the norm, that just make us happy. So like if you like to wear the same kind of clothes every day, that's really cool. Just do it. There's no reason that you can't wear yellow every day. What rule is there that says you can't? Oh, there's Albus. All the dogs are getting in on this live stream. That's another thing I found common to the spectrum is like our love of animals. He just ran in the pantry. I had these rats growing up in like middle school. I got a rat that her cage would be on this table at the end of my bed, and I would just keep it open, and she would come on my bed while I was like doing homework or whatever, or on the computer, and just hang out with me. And then she'd go back in her cage, and she was like my best friend. And like she was like my service animal before I had a service animal, or like a therapy animal, where she was cool just sitting on my shoulder, hanging out with me. It just was very comforting. And it was, I thought it was really cool to meet people who had like such a strong dislike to the rat, the animal, the rat, and then they would meet my rats and how loving they were and how they loved to snuggle up against your neck and like rub their nose and give kisses. And they were pretty clean as well. People think they were so dirty, and they
The boys were not.
no, the boys aren't as clean, but the girls were pretty clean. And people I watched them change their mind about them, or at least question it, and that was really cool to see. And then I also always had dogs. I want to have a cat one day, but my family is allergic, so maybe one day. Always wanted to know what that is like, but I know a lot of people on the spectrum are drawn to different kinds of animals: horses, birds, lizards, all different kinds of animals, and have that connection and a bond that's beyond what other people have, and they understand them in a way other people don't. And so I just think that's really cool that we are able to connect in that way. There's just breaking down that stereotype that we don't have empathy. Like we definitely do. Like we definitely care and love for things and animals and people. Yeah, that was, I know, a big passion of mine was animals, like going to the zoo, going to the science museum and learning about animals and their different behaviors. I found really interesting when I was little. Just hanging out with my dogs all day. Alright, I'm going to start wrapping up if you guys don't have any more questions. But thank you for listening. Come back next week. I do these live streams every Wednesday at 7 Pacific Standard Time. So come back next week. Check out what I have to say then. Hopefully I'll have something better prepared. Hi, Julie. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so that's like what we have going on autism. So yeah, let me know about if you're interested in the support groups or any of the other stuff we have to offer, or if there's something else you'd like us to do. Yeah, let me know if there's any past guests you would like to see again on the live stream, or any future guests you guys know of. Yeah, all those kinds of things. I love your input. So let me know. Stay colorful. Bye-bye.